the systemic war on Christianity. It's here. It's become government policy. Now let's clarify why before we go into everything else. Why has it become government policy? It's not that the government hates Christians more than it hates Jews. It's that the government doesn't share. It doesn't share loyalty, the loyalties of the people. Because America has traditionally been a more Christian nation, founded by Christians, the majority have been Christians traditionally. That has been the one that has been the focus of America's communists, America's government, and the war is everywhere. And it's really, really bad. And it's gotten to the point where we have complete infiltration of the church by the filthy commies. You see what happened with the United Methodists? I know it's the Methodists, but did you see what happened? They just lifted a 4-decade ban on LGBTQ clergy. A 4-decade ban. If you want to know one of the main reasons why American Christianity, the American church, has not fought back as hard against the dirty, godless, demonic commies as they should have, it's because the American church got infiltrated years ago with all this cultural Marxist filth everywhere. Oh, we need more women in here. Do we have enough gay people in there? Now it's everywhere. Now you have sermons about a non-binary God.
I invite you to rise in body or spirit, and let us confess our faith today in the words of the Sparkle Creed. I believe in the non-binary God, whose pronouns are plural. I believe in Jesus Christ, their child, who wore a fabulous tunic and had 2 dads, and saw everyone as a sibling child of God. I believe in the rainbow spirit, who shatters our image of one white light and refracts it into a rainbow of gorgeous diversity.
And there's my frustration. It's not just with the church. My frustration is all the opposing sides, the sides that should be standing firm, standing tall against the demons as they tear through everything we see. The sides that should be standing tall instead, in so many cases, in most cases, have been co-opted, infiltrated, destroyed by the evil demons on the left. So now they can't stand tall at all. We don't stand tall on anything. What does the right stand firm on? Besides campus anti-Semitism, of course. Is there anything the right firmly stands on? Anything? You can't get the Republican Party to be unified on life anymore. Wrap your mind around that. Wrap your mind around that. The Republican Party for the entirety of my life has pretended to be the pro-life party. Because, massacring a baby in its mother's womb is awful, like the worst thing you could ever do. And the Republicans have acknowledged that, at least publicly, for the entirety of my life. This is wrong. We should protect life, protect the mother, protect the baby, protect life, protect life. That has been the stance of the Republican Party, at least publicly, for the entirety of my life. But no, not anymore. Not in the year 2024. In the year 2024, the Republican Party, they picked up some polls and they looked at some poll numbers and they said, oh my gosh, women in this country, they love abortion. They really love it. What if this costs us an election? Hey guys, let's get more abortions out here. We have a Republican-controlled legislature in the state of Arizona. I want to make sure I reemphasize that. The governor is a Democrat. There's no question about it. But the legislature is Republican-controlled. This was a demonstration that was just allowed to happen at Arizona's Capitol.
That's one of the things when the whole topic of kids being trans come up. Like, no, listen to your kids. And adults change pronouns all the time. Adults, as we grow and as we mature and as we figure it out, we may go from identifying as, within the binary, and then we decide, you know what, that doesn't fit me. I think I'm agender. I don't really identify as a gender. So please use they, them pronouns.
Drag Queen Story Hour. Planned Parenthood Drag Queen Story Hour at the Republican Capitol. Oh, and I didn't even mention, speaking of the abortion issue, they're now going to repeal the pro-life law. They had a pro-life law on the books. Arizona Supreme Court upheld the law. The law was a ban on the practice of abortion. But because we checked the poll numbers, the Republican-controlled legislature vetoing it. Heading to Katie Hobbs' desk. We know what she'll do with it. A bipartisan majority. 2 Republicans voted for it, Shauna Bullock and Thomas Shope, in case you're wondering. They both have primaries in July, if you'd like to do something about that. And look, I know, this is the point. This is the point where desperate people on the right, maybe you're saying this yourself right now, is, Jesse, we got to win elections or all is lost. Jesse, oh my gosh. Look, we have to win elections. If I don't have any of my values reflected in the GOP, then why would I care if the GOP wins elections? I mean, look, I feel the same desperation you feel. I look at Joe Biden, I look what the communists are doing, and I want everything to stop, and I want the madness to stop and to stop the destruction of my country. So we have to stop them, right? We need to stop them. But if I need to stop them and we need to replace them, well, I need to replace them with something that reflects my values at all, or else don't replace them. Just leave them there. What exactly does the Republican Party stand for? What do they stand for? What do they stand firm on? You know, let me ask you something. I was actually talking to one of my producers about this before the show, but let me ask you something. For the last week or two, how many Republicans, senators, House, everybody, how many national Republicans have you seen go on television and yell about what's happening on college campuses? The anti-Semitism and the violence and the protests and how many Republicans have you seen in the last week or two? All of them? It's pretty much all of them. It's most of them. Public statements, bills, things like that. Okay, all right, so you got that. You remember all the speeches. They're all doing it. It's the big thing now. Now, let me ask you something. Knowing that the FBI has already infiltrated the Christian church, knowing that the Department of Justice has been kicking in the doors of pastors and pro-lifers, knowing all the things you know about what's happening to America's Christians, when's the last GOPer you saw step up to the podium and talk about the war being waged on America's Christians by America's government? When's the last time you saw it? Oh, I know we're really, really, really concerned right now with what's going on at Ivy League campuses, because those are really that's where our freedom grows, isn't it? That's where our allies can be found. So I know we're really worried about NYU, and I certainly don't want to stop anybody from fixing things at NYU. But when's the last GOP speech you saw about protecting the church from the government? Have you even seen one? All that may have made you uncomfortable, but I am right.